All right, we're live here, Fatboy FadeAway Sports, episode 210. The core four is back together here again as we get into a blockbuster NBA trade that, in a lot of our eyes, is probably one of the more stunning trades maybe in our lifetime, maybe in the history of the NBA. I'd like to get Brian's thoughts on maybe other sports too, and the guys with it as well. But we're happy to be with you after a great show last week. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Tyler's mic, hopefully here we'll settle down in a second, and we'll go from there. But how are you guys doing? Brian, how are you doing out there?
I'm doing good. It's been nice weather this weekend over here in Southern California, so I can't complain.
And the Lakers, on that note, make a nice weathered trade, it feels like, from there. Casey, though you've been haven't been able to make it the last 2 weeks, you see a trade like that, though, that's gotta whoa the eyes a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I don't know, probably like 12:30 Eastern time, like so not here almost. That was just weird. I think I texted you. I was like, "Damn, you see that?" Like, damn, that was crazy. I was like, I don't think anyone had that on their radar. It was weird.
No, I mean, Tyler, the first thing we thought about is the Lakers again, like that.
How do they
right?
And how random a 2029 first round pick? Do they think that the Lakers are going to suck then? So that they want 2029.
I think it's Max Kleber. That gets the job. You get Max Kleber. What a 3-point shooter from there. You get Max Christie, Doug Christie's son. I don't know. Like Tyler, let's start there with that. I mean, I don't understand. Like, there's some trades where you're like, holy, you know what? Like, this one came out of the blue, and I was trying to really think. I got to do more research on it. I know there's been a few other trades where it's not as big as this, but like, it just makes no sense from one end to the other. Like, Casey always likes to give me a bad time about the Cespedes one, like me trying to be positive about it. But like, that one from afar made no sense. Like, you take your four-hitter out. So like, you're just to make so, but this is even a bigger. Luka's like a top 3 player. They just made the NBA Finals last year. I mean, yes, I get that Davis gives you more defense, but Tyler, this is Dallas. What are we thinking? What are we thinking?
I'll tell you who I blame. I blame this on Mr. Brian Johnson down there in the right corner. It becomes a Lakers fan again, and all of a sudden he's getting these superstars like the Lakers always every decade, from Wilt to Kareem to Shaq, Kobe, Powell. I don't know. It's just, the Lakers just have this way of bringing in a superstar. The Mavericks, it makes no sense. I actually don't mind the trade for 1 year if you just do it in a bubble, because AD does help them in a lot of aspects they need. And I don't understand it from the Lakers' point trying to win this year, because LeBron and Donic just do the same things. Off the ball, they're doing nothing. They're giving you nothing. They both don't play defense. So you get Luka for the future. That's a great trade for the Lakers. I'm not like going to downtrodden them out. But
of course it is.
How do you win with those two players who don't play any defense? And then your rim protection is Jackson Hayes. Is LeBron on the move? Like, are they – what's going – I don't understand. There must be another move.
I see you're looking at it differently than I am. I mean, I don't know. I'll let Brian, your thoughts on it. I got more to say, but Brian, what do you think of it? Just like
I guess it's the Lakers adding another superstar. You would definitely have to say Luka's better than Davis. So I don't know. I think it's a great trade for the Lakers. I think the world needed something because nobody is into the Super Bowl. So
it's bullcrap. The world did not need the Lakers to get a 26-year-old superstar, Brian. Logan Stone right there, Don. I know that doesn't make it. Logan Stone, my guy from 7th inning here. Yeah, I was trying to think from a baseball term, some of these, because that does happen in baseball sometimes too, where you're like, how did that guy get traded for 4 prospects? Or like, if we're something just crazy that doesn't make any sense. I was trying to think.
I mean, you're talking about the Cespedes deal, which was dumb because when they played the Royals in that playoff series, they couldn't hit. So they needed Cespedes.
Well, I'm actually going to counter that because remember, they scored 8 damn runs in that, and John Lester could throw a damn ball to first base. That was what happened in that game. Brandon Moss was the one. I was thinking on a baseball trade case, he'd be like, Soto for Trout, maybe? I don't know. Like, you got this great player, but they're older, is hurt. Like, I don't know. I was trying to think something like that or something from Machado. I like that's kind of where I was thinking about.
I had Tatis for Trout as my MLB player comp, but yeah, Soto. It's weird. Soto's been on his fourth team already.
I know that's crazy to think about, but Luka's on his second already. I mean, Casey, I wrote down right away. Like, what would like? How does if you're Dallas? The part that's confusing to me the most is okay. Let's say that Luka comes to you and says, "Hey, I'm not re-signing with you," or the Dallas says to you, "Hey, we're not going to give you 5 years, 345," because that's what he would have been up for extension wise last year. How does the league not have more aware of this, or you put him more on the block to get more? Is it just it reminds me, I know it's not, they didn't give up any of the players, but it just reminds me of the shock value of the Gasol one. Like what? Like how do you give up that for Gasol? Like I understand Davis is at a whole different level, but still to me, the shock level of you're giving up this young guy to the Lakers for, I don't know. I just don't, I guess from that's my comparison, the shock level with the Gasol thing and to the Lakers. So I just don't get what Dallas, I just don't get it. I do not get it.
I would just say it's probably an internal thing where they've been dealing with him being out of shape and playing himself back in the games, missing games, and basically just probably doing whatever he wants to do. And then the Lakers, there's the beer.
Is this what started it all? Michael Finley taking the Teddy Bruschi from Luka's hand. Look at this, Brian. Look, takes it. No, you do not have a beer after you win a championship. After you make the finals.
Lucas said, "I'm out of here." After
that left a bad taste in his mouth.
What was the old saying? Bitter beer face. Bitter beer face case.
It's funny because he reaches back for the beer and then he's like, "All right." It's kind of messed up. Like he thinks he's gonna give it back to him, then his face is like, I guess he's serious.
I like his face. Like, what the hell?
Like right here, he's like, all right.
I love that video. It just doesn't make any sense.
It was the beginning of the end right there.
Like I understand Luka's top 3 players, 26 years old. You don't trade him, but like if you are going to trade him, I don't think Anthony Davis is like not enough to get back if you're going to trade him, because you're never going to get 100 cents for $1 on Luka Doncic. Like you're not going to get equal value back. Anthony Davis is a great player. We're forgetting that part. Like we're acting like he's some like mediocre, barely an all-star.
So he's
a top 10 player in that. No, I wouldn't have done the trade, but I don't think it's as bad. There's way worse trades for superstars.
You don't think they could have got more than that?
No, I don't. I can't think of anything they get more. Maybe if you're going to the future and you're getting first-round picks and you get lucky, but would you rather do that? Like, that's not a guarantee.
I mean, so now they have a team of Kyrie, who's 31. They have Davis, that's 31. They have Clay, that's 34, 35. It feels like a team that wins a championship 2016. I don't know, like the 2025. I mean, I get it. Davis is there, but what's also he gets hurt a lot too. I mean, that's part of his track record. I don't know. You look at Davis's stats, you're like, yeah, he's a stud. And he is a stud. He's probably like one of the top 12 players in the league. But it just feels like you're giving up a decade of Luka there too. I don't know. You just made the finals. I don't get it. I mean, the idea of LeBron and Luka together too is kind of the referees. Good luck in that one. Good luck dealing with the crying on that one. But I don't know. You say it doesn't help the Lakers. I mean, you have 2 guys that just can dominate the ball and control the game at any pace they want. I think who cares about a center? That's kind of how I look at it. You know, Davis could
perimeter defense too.
Yeah, but Davis in no world would be able to do what Luka does on offense. Like in no world.
No, I'm not. But there's things Anthony Davis does that Luka has no chance of doing. Like that.
He's a top 3 player though. Davis
AD's
is top
7.
I think
he's better than top 12. Top 12. Yeah, right. Have you watched him play the Warriors? He goes for 30-20 every time they play.
I've watched a lot of centers play the Warriors.
They don't do what
he does. Mr. Sabonis just crushes their soul every time he has over there, and he's not even a center.
But if you combine the center,
they were right there. Mr. Post.
They averaged 18 and 8.
I don't know. I know you're trying to make kind of a point for that they got Davis, but you look at that on face value, it does not feel like a good trade. It feels like a total just a waste of it.
No, I agree. The Lakers got the better end of the deal. But this year, I still don't think it makes sense. Like if they're trying to win this year, they're not winning.
Do you think but like I don't think this helps I mean, I think it helps the Lakers way more than it does Dallas.
I think Dallas is a title contender this year. That's what it does for them.
Yeah, I think it helps Dallas this year.
They made the finals last year though with Kyrie and Luka. And they're like doing pretty good this year.
Luka's only played like 22 games this year, right? Something like that.
I don't think he's missed that many, but
I think that many games. He's been injured pretty much all year.
I don't know. The Lakers GM kind of pointed at his conditioning and the fact that this gives them a defensive advantage. We'll see. Maybe Davis, you're right, Tyler. Maybe he has a second part of his career that makes the trade fine, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it happens with it.
Once again, I don't think it's a great trade for Dallas, but I understand if you're going to trade Luka. Anthony Davis is not a bad consolation prize compared to what other superstars are going for. Like Carmelo went for Wilson Chandler and Danilo Gallinari and a couple first-round picks. What'd that get him? Like, I don't know.
I like Ryan Rosillo says kind of what he's heard. Basically, if you're going to trade Luka, that's fine, but you start a bidding war. There's no reason to accept the deal this early, and that's what it kind of feels like. It's just like I don't understand what we're doing from that standpoint. Do you guys think it is the most shocking trade in NBA like history, or like just out of the blue where nobody seems to know of it? Like Brian, I can't even think of it. Like NFL, this happens a little bit more, but it's I was trying to think. Like sometimes I'll be like, how Tyreek Hill is available, and nobody like there'll be like things like that, but usually you kind of know a little bit. I don't know. This one to me is the most shocking with it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like NFL trades have a shock value like this had.
No, this one's. I was trying to think. NBA usually has those shock values, and this is the one. I mean, like I said, the Gasol one kind of sticks to me, but as I'm trying to make the players even, it's tough. Like
Monte Ellis for Bogut.
Yeah, like those are like, but like even like what was the other one? Like Baron Davis when we got him for Speedy Classic, but Baron Davis is on Luka's level. Like they're just when they traded for like they get like trades like that. I mean, I guess Anthony Davis to the Pelicans, but we knew that was happening. We knew like those were deals that were in the works, or he was available. I think that's the one. Like, I don't know. We'll see how it plays out with the trade, but definitely changes the landscape of the NBA. NBA gets what they want. As I was about to come on here today and basically say, Adam Silver, which I still do, like proposing 10-minute quarters to have a two-hour nice little package there on TV. And then now the Lakers get a little boost to one of the biggest markets there with Luka. And you can say what you want about Davis. Luka's I think a bigger star there. So, and you get that with them. And I don't know. So I think it's kind of right. Kind of what the NBA probably needed in terms of a storyline, because they seem like they were fading a little bit, and they still, I feel like, are in some ways. But we'll see. I guess both guys. It's just stunning. That's all I can say.
Luka, come to 24-hour fitness with me, buddy. I'll help you get back in shape.
Brian's got him on a workout plan.
Come on, man! I want to win a championship.
That's
24-hour.
You're like, you got to go to your left more. Like, you gotta
more rice cakes.
What were you gonna say, Case?
More rice cakes.
Or rice cakes, yeah. Let's. Man, and it's just stunning. One of the biggest shockers that I can remember in a long time. Brian, do you even have an NBA fact of the week that could top?
Yes, I do. It's the most random one on the planet. It's about the Lakers. They're 1-9 in city jerseys. So I guess they ditched them and they're not wearing them again.
That is
what a play by the Lakers. Great move.
What a play. What a 1-9. Ouch. Blame those uniforms. Who cares about the play? That's good superstition right there. That's Brian's NBA fact of the week with it. Yeah, so like I said, did you guys have any other thoughts on Silver maybe with that 10-minute quarter thing or no?
I mean, that's a terrible idea as far as I know. He's one of the worst commissioners they've had in any Big Four.
He was getting talked up so much though.
Outside of like Bettman, it's bad. Like, what's the big thing he's done? He created the in-season basketball tournament. That's been a big failure.
Giving the players a lot more freedom, which I'm sure they appreciate. They're getting paid.
Coming from Stern, it got a little more loose. Like they didn't have they got rid of the dress code. I don't know. It just seems like he hasn't ran this thing very effectively.
Matt Lunsell, if you're out there, shout out for tuning in live here. We might meet up at Papa's later, Tyler.
Oh, nice.
Matt Lutzel, you got a shocking trade out there that we can think of. I'm
Clinton
trying to
Portis for Champ Bailey's the one in the NFL that like two superstars who are at the top
Yeah,
of their
that's
game,
a
but they
good
get
one.
traded is kind of the trade that I go back to.
Yeah, that's actually a good trade right there.
I gotta say the baseball commissioner's worst the way he handled the whole Oakland Athletics thing. But
Brian, I agree. with
Brian, you're just playing to the audience.
I can appreciate the audience. Rob is well.
I agree though.
I did bring up it. NBA felt like it was in the same spot as MLB from a few years ago, where it's like they kind of feel like they're just in the mud a little bit. Like their product has been it's a little stale. Not meaning like they're not good players, but something with the game doesn't. It just seems off a little bit, and that's why I'm like, do we take away a corner three, or do they go to a rule change? Like MLB had to speed up the game, and they have been able to do that. Yeah, it does take away maybe from the live experience a little bit more, but at the same time, nobody wants to be there for 4.5 hours watching catchers go out to the mound, and so they were able to like take some of that stuff away that helped. So because not part of it, and then the other thing NBA wise I had was KD to the Warriors. It made me think he was talking trash to Gary Payton in the stands over there. I don't know if you saw that case, but it made me think like he's making his decision to me will be looked upon as one of the oddest ones. Leaving the Thunder, then going to the Warriors, winning 2 championships, leaving there, and then just not able to get back on track with the team to really feel like he got close again. And I just wonder if he'll ever regret leaving the Warriors. And then it got me thinking, well, the Warriors did win a championship without him. Would they have more than one championship with KD on the team? I mean, it doesn't necessarily, Clay still would have had his injury. KD probably still has his injury history. Tyler, you obviously, you and KD have a special relationship. What do you have with? Do they have more than one championship after he leaves?
I think they have one, but it.
Do they get 2 though? That's my point.
No, I think they have a better chance at 2 with KD, obviously. But I think they have one more with KD, and I think KD's career is looked at more fondly because he'd be playing with like not the stack teams that he was playing with when he first got to the Warriors, where he'd still be the 38-5 guy and be the most efficient shooter in the NBA. Like, so I think it would have, if the longer he stayed with the Warriors, the more fondly people would look back on those championships, even though now people look at it like, oh, you were just a rented gun who came in and made the NBA unfair for 3 years.
A loaded gun. I like that say with it. I like it. Casey, do they have more than one?
Man, it's hard to play the if and or but game, but I mean, I think they do. I mean, it's just you got that much talent, right? It's hard to just deny that good of talent. It's just, I mean, when they were playing, I mean, Clay had 60 points. That's ridiculous. I mean, that's not your third best player at 60. That's insane.
Could they beat out Jokic in Denver?
Yeah, you can score that many points. I mean, you can give up 120 and still score 130. I mean, yeah. Like, at some point, it's not going to matter almost how many points you get. They're just going to get more. I mean, that's what happened when the Warriors were at their best. They just, I mean, plus you look at those guys. KD was still a top defender when he tried. Clay was a top defender. Steph was, he is what he was. But, I mean, a lot of those guys covered up their own holes, too. So, Draymond, obviously, defensive player of the year. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's been running. I mean, the only thing
because Davis would have then been to the Lakers, too.
I look back at it now, it's like I never thought James Harden would have had more stable of a career than Kevin Durant, like moving places. I never would have thought that.
And that's not saying much with it, but that's
I guess the biggest head scratcher for me with Durant was him going to the Nets right after the Warriors. I was kind of like, what were you thinking?
Yeah, that one just doesn't make. Brian, I think they'd have 8 championships if they left. If they never left, they'd have 8. No, just kidding. That's positive, Darren. Brian, positive, Darren.
I want that with the Raiders. I want positive.
Oh, we're gonna get positive Darren here in a few. We're gonna get real positive here.
Hey, before we leave the Warriors, I don't know if that's
where NBA, yeah.
Andre Iguodala gets his jersey retired on I think the 24th of February against the Mavericks. Clay will be in the building. Should he be mentioned with the Draymonds and the Clays, like what he did for the franchise? We were mentioning trades. We trade for Iguodala to kind of change the whole landscape of the Warriors moving forward.
Yeah,
where like Clay and Draymond were probably the better players. They started, they scored more, they got more. Iguodala and Dray are kind of like
he won a Finals MVP,
and he won a Finals MVP. Is he but it's always a big three, and he kind of gets on another tier. Should he be in that top four? Like, should he be in that fourth tier with maybe Steph moving a step above all three of the other guys?
Yeah, I think he absolutely is. I think he
at least equal.
Absolutely. His defense was invaluable. He was so smart.
I agree.
He never needed to take shots for a team that always ever yeah, he's definitely on that list for me. I wouldn't even care if they put Livingston up there, for goodness sakes, in a few years. I always thought he was a key part of the team too.
And Looney in the after Durant years, or the Durant years, he wasn't part of it.
I don't know if I'm giving Looney a jersey retirement, but
I mean, as much as Livingston, I'd say those series he had against the Kings where he was getting like 20 rebounds a game. Yes. I remember doing podcasts being like, my God, what has gotten into Kevin Looney in these playoffs?
He was going against the Max. Was a Max?
If anybody
gets going against the bonus.
If anybody gets a jersey, it's got to be Jason Richardson. Come on.
Yeah, we got to get Jay Rich, 2-time dunk champion. I agree. We got to get him.
Well, I mean, he was like probably your best talent when you guys had those down years, don't you think?
Yeah. No, I get
one of my worst takes of all time when I was younger was I thought Jason Richardson could replace Paul Pierce and have the same impact if you played with a team like that. Probably not the case.
No, probably not the case with it. So yeah, some crazy stuff in the NBA. Wasn't expecting to go that deep into it, but that Luka blockbuster just kind of throws us for a loop there on that one. So that changes. This is a big news deal with it. Brian, I still think you watched the Super Bowl on Sunday. Am I wrong?
You mean next Sunday?
Yeah, exactly. Come next Sunday. There's Brian Johnson's at TV on Fox and Tom Brady. And are you watching?
I mean, I'll watch it. But
all right.
I'm interested in
I won. No, I'm just kidding.
I kind of hope a meteor hits the stadium.
My God.
Everyone in the NFL starts cheering like we can win the championship again.
What's that movie again? I said, was it Batman 3 or Batman? The Steelers Stadium goes up to Brian wishing stadium issues. All right, if you have the FBI at your door,
if I have to rip on anyone, I rip on Josh Allen. I mean, he could have had a way better performance, and this is why you can't beat Mahomes, man.
Man, that AFC champion, that was their chance. What'd you guys think of that 4th and 1? Was it a bad call? I mean, I don't know. Where he tries to fall forward.
You can't overturn it once you make the original call. I thought he got the first down live, but whatever. It is what it is.
I felt like they ran him way too much too.
Oh, every time they get to like 2nd and 1, and they'd have trouble picking up the yard when they were doing these stupid a run and then a QB sneak. It was close multiple times even before that.
Just give it to Cook.
Brian, why do you hate the Eagles so much?
On that last 4th down, they sent the full house blitz, and I was just impressed. Allen was somehow able to get the ball out, and the freaking receiver dropped it.
He should have caught it. Hit him in the forearms.
Chiefs got, or what was it? The Bills got the benefit of the drop the week before, though.
They get by tight ends.
Some people would say that they didn't deserve to be there with the turnovers as well, but or the Ravens turnovers that they had. But anyways, yeah, that game was crazy. You just felt like the Chiefs, again, they just have a way, right? They have a way. And then Brian, they're going for a three-peat. The Chiefs and Eagles, your hatred for the Eagles, your hatred for the Chiefs. As a Niners fan, you could tell you were frustrated on that Sunday after the game. Rightfully so. 2 of your least favorite teams matching up in it. Niners fans.
It just didn't seem like Jaden Daniels was ready for that moment. The Eagles just have too good of a defense for him. Tyler was right on that.
I mean, 55 points is.
And then they have the best O-line, and they have Saquon Barkley, who's one of the most gifted runners since Adrian, or he is the most gifted run. CMC.
I mean, come on, Saquon, with that flop out of balance, you pulled a Mahomes on us.
I agree. I don't like that. I'm with you. I don't like the Eagles. Let's not get this twisted, but I think
Tyler
you win with offensive, defensive line, and it's going to be a hell of a Super Bowl. I think it's going to be a really close game.
Do you think the Eagles, if you had to just guess now, are you leading Eagles or Chiefs?
No, you got Mahomes and Andy Reid. I'm going Chiefs. If they get the ball down less than 7 with 2 minutes, they're going to win. You can't stop them.
You know what's going to happen after the Chiefs win the Super Bowl? Kelsey's going to propose to Taylor Swift. I'm calling it right now.
I think that's 2 years in a row you've predicted this.
Brian, you're like Boomer. Just keep predicting that one on every Super. Just keep predicting that one, and we'll be fine with it. Yeah, so we'll get more into the Super Bowl next week too. But I just thought the Bills talking about bloated opportunity. That was just as bad as it gets. Yeah, when we talked about Barkley last week, it was funny because remember I think we were saying like how he's a different running back than anybody else in the league. And then he goes, the first touch is 60 yards without touch. Wouldn't go right to the house. So, yeah, I think he's at a different level. Matt says he agrees with you, Tyler, about Barkley being compared to Adrian Peterson there. Yeah.
Do you think Barkley has brought the running back position back a little bit?
I don't think anybody can bring it back. I think the league has to bring it back.
The running backs have to perform on a field at a certain level where they're like, okay, these guys are impact. Like
the Buffalo Bills were like, nope, we're not giving it to James Cook, who's dominating. We're just going to run with our quarterback. Like, I don't know. Like,
it's crazy. Yeah.
I get your point, but it just seems like every team wants to go. What do they say? I mean, look at McCaffrey. Like, he was great, but that injuries kind of just add up with running backs, and that's what happens. Like, but you do have a running back, I feel like, every year that maybe sometimes has a good run, but it's just they can't consistently put this on. But I do think the running back position also gets screwed at the same time because, like, the fact that Barkley was not more in the MVP conversation, people were just like dismissing him. I'm like, what do they have to get, like 3,000 yards to?
I think if he played that week 17 match and then broke the record, he would have been more in it at least. Like, at least I would think so, or you'd hope so. CMC, if he didn't fumble the damn ball that first drive in the Super Bowl, we're Super Bowl champions.
Well, it's CMC. Well, like I always say, Eric Dickerson appreciates them not breaking the record. Nobody cheers for his record more than that guy. Which always kind of cracks me up. He's always like, "Yeah, I hope he doesn't get it." I'm like, all right, I can respect that. I still remember him with Jamal Lewis going for the record on. Well, I think it might have been Sunday Night Football. And they had it. They were like kind of interviewing him at the same time, like a lot of the game. And he's sitting there like, but he get like 1 yard. He's like doing like he's like literally cheerleading on the screen there. I always thought that was just a funny idea. All right, so we got that, and then Brian, should I be positive here? Yeah, the Raiders do need a running back, Matt. That's what happens when you trade Josh Jacobs to the Packers and then you replace it with Mr. White or whatever.
Don't tell me you believe that rumor of Russell Wilson coming. I don't. There's no way. I'd be like,
Pistol Pete loves him.
What are you doing, Raiders? What are you doing?
Oh God, I think I would throw up if that happened. I would. Wilson says he's focused on the Steelers though right now, but I mean it's hard not to think with Pete Carroll having this little connection there. Maybe there's hatred there still throwing that interception, but I don't know. Maybe that is like the easiest rumor to think, and you see you kind of get that tossed around a little bit because of that connection.
But didn't it end poorly in Seattle? Like.
He's in a new regime. It's Positive Pete. Remember, Brian? We're Positive Pete here. Where's that? What if Russell comes back and he gets a little new life there at the Raiders? Jacoby Myers, Wilson. What a lineup. Yeah.
Would you rather have Gino or Russell Wilson if Gino's made available?
I'd rather have Jimmy Garoppolo. No, I was kidding.
Yeah, I saw the worst trade proposal on Instagram where it had the Raiders getting Geno and DK Metcalf, but then giving up their 6th overall pick and a 2nd rounder. And I was just like, why would the Raiders do that?
Pathetic trade.
I would just, if the Raiders did end up with Wilson, you guys would have to agree with me. That just keeps that train going that I was talking about. That keeps that Brian. Then you'd have to say Darren is right about that. They got to get somebody in the draft, like I keep saying. And like you said, Geno.
That Ole Miss quarterback of the Senior Bowl has to be making you. Casey wanted that guy in a Raiders uniform.
Casey did want Mr. Dart. I do know that he didn't want him, but I don't know if we get him with the 6th pick overall. That was a Christian Ponder type material. We're going all the way there with it. I don't know. So. Yeah, I do believe the rumor, Brian, just to make about Russell Wilson. I do believe there's a chance he ends up on the Raiders. So I hope he does not, but I think he is. And the other thing about the NFL is, or I had on my mind was, I feel like this time of year, I could get paid a lot of money just to make up NFL mock drafts if I wanted to. Can I just put names wherever I want? Like, do your job, people. Where's Bill Belichick? I feel like it's just rumor mill. Let me just throw out this guy. I'm like there was somewhere where you guys were getting, I think, the Penn State edge rusher.
Yeah, Larry Krueger comes out.
Like,
all respect to Larry Krueger, one of the best sports minds in the Bay Area, normally. But to have a Ben Carter going number 11, I was like, this guy's not getting past 3. Like, he's going to go right with Travis Hunter whenever those two. Like, that's where the first pick outside of a quarterback will be between those two. He's not going 11. My God. I couldn't imagine.
I could see us getting that defensive tackle from Michigan.
I would like that. You know how I like those fatties, Brett.
Right, like
stop that running game. Stop.
Called Fatboy FadeAway for a reason. We love the
fatties. The Dallas Mavericks did not like those fatties. Apparently, they got rid of them. So I had to trade there.
Does that concern you at all? Real quick about Luka, you brought it up. The conditioning?
I don't know. Like I said, he's still number 3. I don't know. Maybe he's Charles Barkley, but Barkley's still had a pretty good career. I don't know. Maybe he wears down a little later in his career. But he's 26.
More hardened to me than anybody else.
Yeah, he does have a little bit of hardened game to him. The fat suit. Remember hardened with the fat suit? That was so great. Everybody thought
he loves strip clubs. Like
he does love them over there. Anything NFL, Brian? Are you watching dodgeball today?
No, definitely not. I think the only thing I hate about the NFL is the season goes by so quick, and that the off season is like as slow as paint drying on a wall.
Well, Brian, you did do a lot of talking the gridiron, but I encourage you to do every Sunday episode. It won't feel as short to you. It will not be as short to you. We're actually taking a bye week this week on it. We're going to do the preview on Friday. If any of you guys want to join there, we're going to do like we did. I think you guys joined both of me last year, or one of you did at least a couple of years ago when Niners and the Chiefs were going at it. So we'll do a preview there on talking. The Pro Bowl though also just, I mean, I don't know.
Just retire it.
Just what are we doing? I don't know. For me, I guess you must love football to go to this stuff and just want to like take your kid to a thing where you're catching footballs out of a machine, doing 40-yard dashes. I don't know. I don't get it. It's not even in Hawaii anymore, right?
Yeah, I thought they brought it back in.
Is it in Orlando? See, like I think there was something cool about it being in Hawaii. They would do like the throwing contest, hitting the little machines. It felt like Gladiator, hitting the dartboards across from it. They're in their uniforms. No, I mean, I don't think anybody in my lifetime ever really got hurt in the Pro Bowl that I remember. I'm sure there was a few, but I remember the Edwards getting hurt actually in the Sand Bowl game. This guy, he was a running back for the Patriots at the time. He was Robert Edwards, but I don't know. It's just kind of a joke, Johnson, like every other All-Star game.
Or Sean Taylor laying out the Bills punter.
Mormon.
Yeah, but he survived. He did survive. He became a Mormon.
You mentioned going to the game. Like, I don't understand. I could see that because at least you get to see these great athletes in person. Watching it on TV. If you're watching the Pro Bowl on TV, there's something wrong with you. You got to be sick in the head for football if you're watching the Pro Bowl on TV.
Come on, man. Let's go. Dodge that. Spin. Remember it. Dodge that. Dodge.
Where's that old man when you need him?
So, some historic information on the Pro Bowl. They actually used to have it in Orlando, and then they moved it to Hawaii. So
I felt like it was in Hawaii forever, though.
Yeah.
Right? My whole childhood.
It was always at the college stadium there. Yeah, that was always fun. Like Sunday, you'd watch that. It was like not the whole thing, but you kind of check in because it was somewhat. Rich Gannon, I remember winning the MVP, Brian. That meant a lot with the helmets. So yeah, those days.
Or Peyton Manning ripping on Vanderjack.
Oh yeah, that one was
idiot drunk kicker.
You're right. I forgot about that moment. That was a good one as well.
That's what Darren says about me about that one. That idiot.
I don't know. So I was asking. There was a question that came out. Like, what are you the most nostalgic about? And like, so all my stuff goes to sports or something like that. Usually right away. So like baseball, the radio, or something like that. But also, if it was football, I would say seeing those helmets with the Pro Bowl uniform. That if I was to think Pro Bowl, would be the first thing that comes to my mind is the different helmets that you would see match up like on the. It kind of felt like the Senior Bowl or something like that you would see with college teams. So that would be my nostalgic, with that stuff. So, all right. So Brian, next week we'll probably get more into Eagles Chiefs with that. You have Saleh obviously now officially your Niners defensive coordinator. So players are coming out saying they're happy about that.
And then it sounds like D'Angelo Hall might be our defensive backs coach.
Is that the D'Angelo Hall from the Raiders that was there for 6
Yeah,
years?
that's the same guy.
The guy who was talking trash to DeAndre Hopkins and then the next play tore his ACL.
Yep, that's what it was. I got. Oh, yes, Brian, here's the article. Wilson focused on Steelers, not Raiders talk. So there we go. We start with it. We get there with it. A lot of things still going on. NFL will be a big week this week, obviously, with everything headed to New Orleans. There, all the media will be there with it. So buckle up, Niners fans. Suck it up. It's Eagles Chiefs on Sunday on Fox. And guess who for making it even worse? Tom doing the call for us Raiders fans, too. So you got that going on with the NFL coming up this week. I don't want to go deep dive into this, but for MLB, just real quick, the longer Pete Alonso stays out there, the Giants have such a marketing opportunity with the polar bear from the Mets that I just the Coke bottle, the polar, I've heard the polar bear plunge, and now you got some if you could sell giraffe hats, you could sell polar bear hats,
panda hats, giraffe hats. There's going to be polar bear hats if he comes.
And the guy's just unreal in that home run derby contest. He shows up and he's in the final.
It's 35 home runs every year minimum. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad signing. They need a first baseman. They're not going to spend money there.
If my life was on the line and somebody said, "Okay, Brian Johnson can answer one question for you, but you can pick the two categories," I'd say CW and home run derby knowledge. Those would be the two that I feel confident that you'd be able to answer any of those questions. I'm about to answer those questions. So, Brian or Tyler, maybe you'll get your wish, but I highly doubt it. Still, that the polar bear will be. But the Giant. I was thinking, man, if you get him in your lineup, it's like you have Fitzgerald maybe batting 7th. It's like, well, that changes your lineup. I'm 6th, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. But I'm like, okay, now you have a lineup. That's the way I would look at it. Like, yeah, you might strike out of town, but you might. I don't know. I think it would change change my view on your guys' seriousness a little bit if you're able to land Mr. Alonso there at first base. All right, I got movie picks for you guys. Brian, you had a TV show pick for us though, real quick. What was it?
The TV show?
Yeah, was it Entourage and Ballers? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was a favorite HBO show, Entourage versus Ballers, because both of those I thought were great.
Ballers, obviously, with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson there at NFL.
They're not agents, but they handle NFL players' finances. So you had Terrell Suggs was in it all the time, which was kind of cool.
I remember Hana watching that one a lot. And then Entourage, a classic. I definitely go Entourage on this one. That's pretty.
Yeah, I go Entourage as well. I think Entourage needs a remake with the new group of friends. I think you could do that and still have a great show. So I go Entourage or Ballers. I don't know.
This is America.
I have two Nicolas Cage. I watched this movie yesterday. It was great. Two Nicolas Cage movies: Con Air versus Face Off.
Face Off. We had The Rock into this. The movie The Rock?
The Rock? Family Man.
I think we already did The Rock. That's why it was doing Con Air and Face Off.
I go Con Air. Con Air is just cheesy enough for me. So I think I go Con Air.
I hate agreeing with Darren so much, but I go Con Air as well. You get Buscemi played a psychopath. You get the Stone Cold Steve Austin lookalike. John Malkovich is the bad guy. That's it. That movie's pretty good.
Nicolas Cage with the long hair. But remember, like one of the best gifts is the fire behind him, right?
And then who's the corny actor who is the cop that's like trying to? I can't think of his name off the top of my head. It's like
Cusack.
Is that John Cusack? Yeah, John Cusack is like the.
I forgot he was in that. I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Yeah,
you're right. He was in that movie as well.
I just remember having a big crush on Nicolas Cage's wife in that movie. What a beauty.
Let's see. Should we look up just to make sure?
I saw that movie originally at the airport cinemas when it first came out.
Voted top 10 movie theaters in California.
You're right. It was. Who is it? Monica Potter is your Mr. Poe there, Mrs. Poe, I should say. At that point, all right. So, Mrs. Poe. That's what he is in the movie. He is. Is
that what the polar bear and
his name is Cameron Poe,
or the panda and Kung Fu Panda was named after?
Nicolas Cage's character, Cameron Poe. You got that, or unless it's Pooh. I don't know what it is.
It's Poe.
It's Poe.
Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh. No, so you got that one. Brian, that's a good call. Con Air, Face Off. I didn't know what Face Off. That's a weird concept of a movie, even more so. Tear off each other's faces. All right, I feel like I got some good movies choices for us this week. I put a lot of effort, passion, desire into it. We'll see what you got with it. Ludsel, if you're out there, I'll read yours on the air as well if you have any thoughts with it. Matt does say Entourage all day as well. Pursuit of Happiness with the slap master himself, Will Smith, or Aaron Brockovich. So you have two stars there, both up there for awards with that one. Pursuit of Happiness, Brian. I don't know if you've seen that one. I don't.
Yeah, I have.
And then Aaron Brockovich. So the theme for today is early 2000s. That's the theme for today's movie pick. So Brian, going with Pursuit or Aaron Brockovich?
I'm gonna go with Pursuit of Happiness.
He does not go with Miss Roberts there.
I gotta go Julia Roberts in that cleavage.
Somebody said it.
Gotta go Aaron Brockovich.
That's a terror. Do you like the idea? Was that PGD, right? Is that what it was? I don't know what they were suing. I think that. Good morning, Vandy Chris. How you doing out there? Hope you're doing well out there in your neck of the woods. We're taking it. You picking Pursuit of Happiness or Aaron Brockovich? We're doing movie picks right now. What do you got? Or what was the other one? Entourage or Ballers, if you've seen those ones with it. Con Air or Face Off. Which ones are you hitting with? So we're doing movie picks here with it. All right. He put San Francisco POH. I like it. Matt Little. All right. So I got that one. All right. Tyler, this is one of your favorites. So I have a feeling that you'll go with one, but I feel like the other movies right there with it. There Will Be Blood or Gangs of New York. So both movies by Mr. Day-Lewis there. Both, he plays intense people, I would say.
Absolutely.
He's a little deranged to moments as well, it feels like. Brian, have you seen either of those movies?
No.
They're gangs. Those are classics. Tyler, what do you
I've seen Kings of New York with Christopher Walken.
I have seen that as well, but that is not what it is. That is not. Cameron Diaz is in Gangs of New York. Even the guy that plays in Step Brothers is in it. Not Will Ferrell, but the other guy. He plays the police officer in that one as well. I was early adult with Aaron Brockovich, so go with Julia Roberts. Tyler, I think for similar reasons, brought up Julia Roberts as well. Tyler, where are you going?
Paul Thomas Anderson, Scorsese. I got to go There Will Be Blood. I do think Daniel Day-Lewis's character in Gangs of New York is one of the most menacing, like disturbed, crazy characters I've ever seen in a movie. And that's compared to Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood, where he's a psychopath as well. The movie is Daniel Day-Lewis in Paul Thomas Anderson's There Will Be Blood. That's my choice.
I go Gangs in New York. I think just because the idea of the gangs and that, like back in those days too, like I just different, right? Like you actually had like these foreigners coming into New York, and then you have like that and there's some brutality to that thing with like Liam Neeson and them, like pitchforks, like they're just fighting with shovels and shit with night, like so that I go that one, Gangs in New York. All right, Traffic or Hurt Locker. Traffic is the one with Sandra Bullock. And that's the one where like they kind of like racism involved not
that's
racism.
Crash.
Yeah, not that. That's what I was not Crash. Traffic. So those are the two I would deal with: Crash or Traffic or Hurt Locker.
I've never seen Traffic, so I'll go Hurt Locker. That movie's good. What's his name? The main actor who he was in the movie with Ben Affleck. Where what's that movie called? But it's his breakout role. I'm gonna go Hurt Locker.
What do you go with, Brian?
I'm gonna go with Hurt Locker. I saw my parents watching Traffic. It looked a little too intense for me.
Hurt Locker is pretty good. Traffic. It's basically about like the drug trade and like the users, enforcers. It kind of tells like different sides of like that kind of. So good actors in that one as well. Let's see who's in that cast right here. If I was getting you guys someone with that, let's see. Ryan Reynolds. Michael Douglas is in it. Del Toro's in it. Dennis Quaid's in it. Catherine Zeta-Jones is in it as well. And then who's the guy that plays Hotel Rwanda? Don
Cheadle.
he's in it as well. So really good cast in those movies. So I would go with that one. Either one of those. Yeah, they're both really good. Like I said, early 2000s is our theme. All right, we're going sci-fi. Brian, I might be testing Johnson today if he's seen these ones. Avatar, and I've only seen the first one because I don't think I can watch through 24 hours of the series. Lord of the Rings 1. So Avatar, those were like these kind of big grando movies with like all this like background, right? All the little midget stuff people made, all this like I don't know. Where do you go with this, Tyler?
I go CGI Pocahontas. I go Avatar. Avatar changed how movies were made in certain aspects in CGI and the effects of movies. And the story, it's just a age-old story that you can always make. Someone doesn't belong and they fall in love and it just becomes this thing and they have to fight for their love. And it's always a good story.
My precious.
Yeah. And I'm not a Lord of the Rings guy.
Who's the main guy in that one too? What's his name though? Gosh, Brian or Tyler should know that when he gets back. He'll help me out with that.
Yeah, I'm not a Lord of the Rings guy, so I gotta go with Avatar.
I gotta guarantee though you have seen Lord of the Rings at moments on TNT or just for a few minutes.
Yeah,
Flip me the shit when the ring falls on its finger or something like that, right? And it gets like even when it was a normal type movie and the graphics were maybe. I go Avatar too. I know there would be a huge fan base out there, Brian, that we go with Lord of the Rings out there with it too. But I don't know. I think my wife would go with Lord of the Rings if I had to guess.
There's a facility I went to in San Diego when I worked for Med Legal, and they would just play Avatar 24/7 in the medical office.
Well, that would definitely choose me to go with the other movie then. If you were just playing Avatar the whole time, I'll say this: I have not seen the second one that came out. There was like another Avatar that was made. I never did see the second one, but I remember the first one too when it came out was a big deal that you could see it with on 3D.
Yeah,
like,
I remember.
I never saw it with. Well, maybe I did, but I don't believe I did see that one in 3D. All right, Brian, Shrek or Toy Story 1? Kind of again a little. That was Toy Story's a little late there, but those are both looked at high movie terms. Look when you look at fan ratings. Shrek's even sometimes higher on some of these things. The Toy Story can be a little kiddish, but it's well made for one of the first ones. Shrek has a little bit comedy to it. What do you got?
I definitely gotta go with Toy Story 1.
Toy Story over Shrek. All right. I like that. Tyler, Toy Story or Shrek? Tyler? Trying to figure it out. I go, as he figures out, I gotta go. I go Shrek. The reason there was just like I loved Toy Story as a kid. Like I feel like I memorized the whole thing, but like there's something like Shrek. I just love that part where they go to the theme park for the very first time and that stupid thing's playing like Welcome in Line. And I don't know, like I just love how they kind of played up some of like the fairy tale stuff with it along the way and made fun of it. Tyler, what do you go, Shrek or Toy Story?
Oh, Toy Story. Toy Story is one of the best movies Disney's ever made, which is saying something. Woody and Buzz are like timeless characters. Shrek's great. Shrek has more adult humor. I would like disparage Shrek at all, but Toy Story just with Buzz and Woody, the friendship concept. I'm going Toy Story.
What's this? The one in Shrek that always gets me is the gingerbread man. Like the one where he's like they're like holding down the gingerbread cookie. He's like, I'll never give it up. I'll never. That's like one of my favorite scenes with that one. Toy Story, I think that one would probably win out in a vote here. But it's funny when you look at like Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that with some of these movies, you're like, that movie was, I don't know, voting, whatever is subjective with that stuff. But I always find it funny that like some of these movies are closer than you would think. Chris is saying Toy Story all day for sure with him as well. All right, last one I got for you. LA Confidential or Good Will Hunting?
How about them apples? I gotta go Good Will Hunting.
Good Will
Robin
Hunting.
Williams in his prime, like showing his chops as a dramatic actor again and winning an Academy Award. Affleck and Damon making their faces known, who they are, who they're gonna be. I gotta go Good Will Hunting.
Brian, have you seen LA Confidential?
Yeah, that's a great movie. I gotta go with LA Confidential.
I am with you with LA Confidential. I like Good Will Hunting, as obviously Tyler brought it up, but I'm with you. LA Confidential has a lot of good stuff. You get oh gosh, that's the guy from Gladiator. I'm just blanking for a second. Russell Crowe. You get him in that as the young police officer that just beats the crap out of everybody, and then you just coming in.
Is Angelina Jolie in that?
No, I think it's it starts with a B. I feel like her last name is it not Brockovich?
Bullock?
No, gosh,
it was the one she was in the first Batman with Michael.
Yeah, I can't. I'm trying to look it up. What her name is. It's gonna bother me.
Kim Basinger. She's in 8 Mile.
Yeah, she's in that. Obviously, Kevin Spacey's in that movie as well. Even get a little Danny DeVito in there as well. You get straight. So you get some good performance as well. So. And I like the storyline always keeps me intrigued. And you get the guy from Babe the Pig. The guy, he ends up being the bad guy in that movie.
Did you know Babe the Pig was nominated for Best Picture when it came out?
Yes, I almost had it in one of my things.
That. I was like, Babe the Pig was not.
Let me ask you that: Shrek or Babe? There we go.
Shrek.
Okay. That changes it. Yeah, very good, Pig. Very good, or whatever he says. That'll do, Pig. That'll do.
That'll do, Pig.
Yeah, so LA Confidential will go with any. Me and Brian both go with LA Confidential on this one. I got to see that movie again. Like, it's funny, like some of these movies that you say, like in 20 years, if you don't, because sometimes you don't just watch these every year, like a Christmas movie. So, like, you go a lot. When's the last time you probably saw LA Confidential, Tyler?
Probably 2005.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it'd be
my
fun
high school senior year.
Like, I haven't seen Gangs in New York probably in over 10 years. Yeah, I should watch it again or something like that. So, Aaron Brockovich, I know it's been a long time since I've seen that movie as well. So, yeah. All right. So those are my movie picks for the week.
Can I ask one movie pick?
Yeah.
I know it's not early 2000s, it's the 80s movies, but I think everyone's seen both of these movies. Do you go Goonies or Stand By Me? You know what Stand By Me is? It's the one with the 4 kids who like look for a dead body.
Yeah, I know I'm talking because I always think that this person at work likes the other one that has like the 4 girls in it. I think it's like Now and Then or something with Rosie O'Donnell and like these other. Well, there's like that's like the same concept. It feels like in a sense when they get older. I go with Goonies. I think it's Stand By Me is good. There's I like the idea of it too, but I think Goonies for me is. And Goonies is not like one of my favorites either. Like I don't look at Goonies as one of my favorites. Like it's not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I didn't see that movie as a kid, so I saw it when I was like an adult. So that's it maybe changed my perspective a little bit. Like Hannah loves that movie because of that childhood part. So I don't know. Brian, what would you pick?
I'd definitely go Goonies. Like it's probably my most favorite movie as a child.
Yeah, see, I think if I would have saw it as a kid, maybe that changes my perspective on that one a little bit more. What do you go, T?
I'd go Stand By Me. It's my favorite, probably like movie about kids. Like it's just so they don't explain their jokes. Like it just feels like your friend group when you were 10 to 12 to 13 years old. Like they're just ripping on each other and they don't sit there and like explain it. And, like this is what it means. It's just like you just feel like you're in a close knit group of friends and like. Brings back that nostalgia of those years. And
what does that take place? 70s?
It takes place in like the 60s, but 60s? It was made in the 80s.
But it was about the 60s. Okay, that's fine.
Yes, I believe it was the 60s.
What was it when I saw something about The Sandlot? Like I think when Sandlot came out in '93, it was about a movie made about 1962. I think it was. Mm-hmm. So that basically. If they were to make another Sandlot, or the idea of that coming out, it would have been about 1993 or something, which is kind of funny to think about.
They do that with Dazed and Confused too. They're like, this movie was made in '92 and is about the early '70s. So that'd be
75 is about the
that'd
year.
That'd be like a movie being made about 1997. Like, yeah, that's nuts.
It's kind of crazy to think about that. All right, so those are good winners or good movie picks this week, Brian, with the add into the TV show, which I enjoyed there with it. All right. It's that time. Winners and losers of the week. Brian, where do you want to start with us this week?
I'm going to go losers. I got a couple. I got the Dallas Mavericks and Josh Allen. You couldn't just get it done one time, Josh. Come on, buddy. You gave us a nightmare Super Bowl. Damn you.
I like it, Johnson. I like it. That's where we go. I like it. Josh Allen. How about their coach? Can we add him to McDermott to loser of the week too?
Can his seat get a little warm or a little hot?
I think he should be. God, you're fired. That's what I. That's what I mean, at some point, you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, no, he's not getting it done. McDermott should be like the main cause of why they're not part of it at least.
Yeah, well, the 4th and 1 will come back to haunt them for a long time.
Because isn't he considered a defensive coach? Really?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. In there, so I don't know. We'll see. A defensive coaches, it does make sense with the 35 1-yard runs by Josh Allen. I guess that if that's the case with it. All right, good losers of the week there. Tyler, what do you got for loser of the week?
My loser of the week is high school basketball. I went to 3 games this week. 2 Santa Rosa High School, 1 Ely. Santa Rosa High School is actually decent this year. It's just not good bad. I don't understand what they're trying to accomplish in some of these offenses. Everything leads to a contested, crazy layup that they have no chance of making at the end of the shot clock.
Keep it simpler, you're saying? Like dump it into somebody?
I don't know. Just run. Stop trying to control the game as a coach so much and let the kids be athletes. Every team was running the same offense and just this motion, sort of try and draw a foul at the end of the shot. I don't know. This doesn't seem like the basketball I remember playing. Maybe I'm late to the game and how it's played now or how it was played in high school.
No, I think I've seen that happen for a while. I remember even watching Windsor teams back in the day, Taylor, the coach there. It'd be fine, but I'm also man, it's a lot of motion offense to get a shot with 8 seconds left or I don't know.
They all feel like they're contested at the rim, trying kind of hoping for a foul.
But I don't know. I'm not in the practice, so I don't know how some of the kids. I don't know some of that stuff, but I hear you. It's not
like the practice at semi-pro. I want it to be done till it's perfect. And Jackie, I'm going Rover. Jackie, you can't go Rover.
He's thrown up on the floor. It's that. That's a good movie. I like that. I'm a big semi-pro fan. I am a part. That is just that part. Kicking the nachos at the beginning is still always one of my favorite parts. You can't bring your own nachos in.
Or the hippie guy where he actually makes the shot. He's like, I don't have $10,000.
Yeah, the right guy hit the shot. All right, Brian, what do you got? I got loser of the week too. All right, we already talked about Pro Bowl weekend a little bit. Tyler, I thought maybe you could explain this more. I didn't see it. Bobby Hurley taking his team from Arizona State, not shaking their hand, saying Arizona was rude. Is that what he said? The coach was rude, basically. Could you explain this more?
He said the Arizona players were talking a little too much throughout the game, and then after in the press conference, he said, "Hey, look, I have a vote for all conference players, and no one on Arizona is going to receive a vote for all conference honors from my ballot." And he has a lifetime contract at Arizona State, and he's 0-4 against Arizona, or 0-6. I don't know. It doesn't make sense how.
To me, it was kind of a very loser of the week material.
I think it's loser of the whole Hurley family this year. He's just showing up on they're psychotic, and Hurley won 2 back-to-back championships. So
still on that job a little bit.
Why
are the cameras focused on me? Because you're losing your mind every play. That's why.
And you're a freaking coach.
You're losing your mind every 10 seconds, buddy. I don't know. Act like that. It seems a little butthurt to act like that. Yeah, no, I think Bobby Hurley would definitely lose the week. Cam Newton, can I throw him out for a few things? But he said
I love the Cutson's response.
Oh, that was great for the baseball one. What he said? WNBA is more popular than MLB or something.
No, he didn't say that. He said it will be.
Maybe I don't know. I don't think so. Newton says he wouldn't trade his MVP for a championship. As Bill would say, Brian, he did his job. That's what he said. He did his job. So that comment right there, not necessarily a telltale for everything. He's a great player, but it's kind of an odd statement.
I thought the greatest thing was somebody. It was after the Broncos won the Super Bowl, and they were interviewing a cornerback, and I guess Cam Newton was around the corner, and the cornerback called Cam Newton a one-trick pony.
That's why he has multiple hats. He does a lot. He's not a. I mean, Cam Newton was a great player. Don't be wrong. He had a run there with obviously winning the national championship. It's just, I don't know. Some of these comments not making some of them make sense. If you haven't seen it, there was a far bigger event in high school basketball in Kentucky where the coach pulled off his team off the floor and left premises in the second quarter. You probably have better basketball than we have out here in Northern Kentucky. They might have out there with it, but yeah, sometimes we had a coach in one of our like chapel ball leagues or something like that. He got ejected yesterday, like in 4th and 6th. Like yeah, like nobody that like goes associated that I know, but I like show up to the game, like showing up, and I'm like, man, somebody's like yelling, like not in the game, like outside, like where the on the campus, like where's my phone or like something like that. Or where? Come on, let's go, let's get out of here. And I was like, Derek, who is that? And he's like, oh, that's this so and so coach. And then I go there and their team's played, and this guy's like, yeah, he got ejected. I go, all right, that adds up. Now, like this guy, like he sounded like a loser. Getting ejected in 4th and 6th grade basketball is not.
That's big time loser of the week.
That's not
potential. You're executing your potential to the full ability.
I got to go me too for one instance. I was coaching Derek's team, and Tyler, maybe you felt this way when you're doing it. You feel like you just. I don't have this moment a whole lot, but sometimes you're like you just feel like you are at a loss of how to help them get better for a little bit, and then they feel defeated. And you like as a coach, at the very least, even if they lose, you don't want them to feel defeated. It's like it's this one area that you don't want to. But the reality is, our team lost to an all-girls team, and I kind of knew that there was some bad matchups. Like I knew like we didn't have some advantages in this area, and so you're trying. And then like the ref, the kids always like, well, they're getting more calls, but at the same time, I'm a coach, and I'm like, yeah, but you're playing so soft. Like you can't get calls if you play soft. Like you have to. But for me, just the frustration of like. It's not even means anything. I just hated the idea of them feeling defeated. And so for me, not being able to get the job done. And so we got to practice Monday. So it's not even about winning or losing for me anymore. It's more just given our state of things. But I got to figure out how to at least make them feel like they have a little bit more success. So that's got to be my job for the next 3 weeks. See if I can get that done. So Darren, you are loser of the week material.
I have 2 questions or 2 things on your losers of the week. Cam Newton, does he regret not falling on that fumble or at least attempting to grab the ball? Like
he should.
Is that so that should have been the next question that he had to answer after saying that. And then as far as coaching, is it the practices where you like try like because I feel like that's where I am my most frustrated. The games are the games. They're gonna lose if they're not as good as like I don't even it's the practices when they don't.
Yeah,
like put their full effort into it. I'm like, just like compete, gosh darn it. And if you if you don't want to compete, it's hard to like. And that's where I feel as a coach, I get like this like lost, sunken feeling where I'm like, I can't help this kid if he doesn't want to compete. No.
I totally. If your team doesn't practice, you're screwed. But that usually is
exactly. It's not the team. It's always one kid. Like I could get a team to practice. It's like 1 or 2 kids where I'm like. I want to help you, but there's only so much I can do.
Yeah, that part could be frustrating. If they're not, usually I can get them in practice to be locked in enough. Like, doesn't mean, but the problem is like, it's the game where you feel helpless at moments, but you're also like, again, they felt defeated within. You're like, how do I put them in some sort of position to have success? Though it's hard. Like we just don't what's the saying, Brian, when you're cooking a good deal, sometimes you might just, or a good meal, you just might not have all the ingredients you need. And like, so sometimes you're like trying to put a puzzle piece together that ain't fitting, but you got to try to make it work. So that's where I'm at with it. But you're right. Anything practice wise, that is the worst if they can't do that. Johnson, winner of the week. What do you got?
I'm going to go with your son, Xavier. I was pretty impressed with the video that Hannah posted. He's definitely got some potential as a basketball player.
He does. I always tell Hannah, just keep showing the shots he makes. You get good. Just keep showing that. Don't show anything else.
I mean, it was like a switch. I was like, man, impressive.
No, Xavier does have he has a good instinct for certain things. He still has a lot to work on. His dribbling is by far number 1. I'm like, dude, that's like carrying, like, and you're running 5 yards with the ball. Like, I'm like but the ref just doesn't call it enough all the time. But he does have a feel. He understands defense. So that will give him the best chance. Like he understands defense. So I always say, if you can play defense in basketball, I can play you. That's I can play you at least. There's not a massive drop off. Or at least on offense, so like I said, you don't throw the ball to the other team. If you don't do that and you play defense, you have a chance to play. That's important. All right. So any other winner of the week for you, or just Javier?
Just Xavier. I don't think there was a
go Eagles. Go Eagles.
I guess the winner of the week is Savage from Twitter. I'm sure he's on cloud 9 right now.
Grizzlies fan too, man. They get Jimmy Butler too. It's got a combo with it. Yeah, I like that.
After he says, "I'm not going to Memphis."
I like that. Tyler,
that makes me believe there was a trade in place and he like declined it in some aspect.
Probably so. What do you got, T?
My winner of the week, you mentioned it with Bobby earlier, is Tommy Lloyd. I've ripped on him for not playing the right lineups, but the way he handled it, he kind of just shrugged it off. All right, if that's what you want to do, you'll look like an idiot, sends the team to the dressing room. And they started off slow, which they normally don't do. Arizona normally starts off hot and fades at the end. This year, they started off slow, and they're getting hotter and hotter. They're in first place in the Big 12. They're playing KJ Lewis and Carter Bryant a lot more, who, if you don't know, are the two best players on Arizona, but they give all the shots to Caleb. I think they have a chance to make a run in this tournament as like a 3 seed.
Caleb Love was my winner of the week. For baking it in. I just
that was a hell of a halftime shot.
I know you hate him. I feel like he's
terrible.
He's like me. He's like Adam and I, Steve Kerr at moments. Like that. Like you just rip on him for everything, and we rip on Kerr maybe for too much at the same time. But I just always kind of laugh at the idea with Kevin Love there. Matt Lunsell, maybe a winner of the week. Are we possibly meeting up at Papa's today? Wow, that could be a shot. We could get little Lunsell and Cloverdale action. So Lunsell, hope you're doing good out there.
What time you planning on doing that?
I think around like 1:31 or something like that. I don't know. These next level games might get canceled for flag football because of the rain. So that changes.
Yeah, that's what I have to wait on.
So I got to wait for that too.
What time does Tavi play?
2. Those are his games.
So his practice is at 1. He plays at 2.
Yeah, for no practices today, but we'll just be games with it.
Oh, did you get an email? I haven't gotten it.
No, but my guess is the way they worded the weather coming up, I would say that they're not going to want that field all.
It's turf.
No, the practice fields.
I see what you're saying.
My winner of the week is Michaela Blakes, the freshman guard for Vanderbilt women. On Sunday, set a career high with 36 points and followed it up by breaking the all-time NCAA freshman record with 53. Shout out to Vanderbilt basketball court, one of my favorites, for still having benches on the baseline. They have like one
loser of the week to me, but
they have one of the oddest gyms in the world. Whenever I see their gym, I was always fascinated by it on TV.
Who was their old coach that looked like a German? Looked like a German old man.
I have no idea.
You know what I'm talking about?
I thought you were talking about the guy from Purdue, baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Sorry.
Cheney.
Yeah.
Cheney was his
name. No, not Cheney.
I thought it was something like Cheney.
I'll look it up. Carry on.
All right, my other winner of the week, Brian. I don't even know the winner of the week. Did you know who won the Royal Rumble last night? Do we know who won?
Jay Uso for the men and Charlotte Flair for the women.
Loser.
Jay Uso for winning.
Gene Katie.
Gene Katie. Okay, start with a C.
I guess it came down to
starts with a K.
It came down to your son's favorite wrestler, John Cena, and Jay Uso. And Jay Uso eliminated John Cena. So,
oh, come on, John. I thought we couldn't see me. Well, that's what happens when you start doing McDonald's ads. You can't get that job done with it. Can I add this one? This one just when I think the good old trade that happened. I know it's not the same, but this is just that came to my mind first, of course.
Did LA give up too much to get a guy who has been labeled soft, although he puts up 19-9, which only 11 other guys do?
Is that a trick question?
You tell me.
They gave up Kwame Brown. Who
first
cares?
rounders.
I could care less.
Tied into his salary for 4 years.
First of all, understand something. When you're giving up first round picks, if you are a quality team in playoff contention, it really doesn't mean that much. That's number one. Number two, and more importantly, Kwame Brown is gone. The City of Angels, Hollywood, just should be celebrated. Throw a parade already, whether you win a championship or not. This man was a bona fide scrub. He can't play. No disrespect whatsoever, but I'm sorry to tell everybody the truth. The man cannot play the game of basketball. He has small hands. He can't catch the ball. He's got bad feet. He can't really move, even though he's mobile. Doesn't really know what he's doing. Doesn't have a post move that he puts to memory that he can do 2 times in a row. He has no game whatsoever. Plays no defense. Doesn't have the heart, the passion, or anything that comes with it. And you're asking me whether they gave up too much? Please, the Los Angeles Lakers knew exactly what they were doing. They should be celebrating right now, and Kobe Bryant should not be saying a word.
His contract comes off the books, and
oh my gosh, that's one of the best rip jobs. That's Stephen A. Smith at his prime. I feel like for me, like when he just left Best Dance, I don't know.
FS1.
There was something more authentic. It felt like about him, like in that regard. mean,
he was authentic. He actually told the truth. Like he wasn't like
That's one of the
Brown was a bum.
man. That's one of the better rippings on a player you'll ever.
Is Lutzel still listening? Sounds like Darren talking about Matt Lutzel. And
he's got small hands. He's got slow feet. He has no memory that he can put to use. I just like the Kwame Brown. That's still one of my favorite parts of it. Tyler, that's one of the best.
But isn't it a stupid question too? You're trading for Pau Gasol. Are they giving up too much? That's a stupid question. That's the answer it deserved. Hats off to Stephen A. for being an honest man back in the day.
Oh, that one gets me every time with the Kwame Brown.
Kwame Brown.
Oh, Sharks for Cup. Tuned in here. Loser is the winner of the week. Angel Reese being the first lady to be ejected in the very short, unrivaled 3. I saw that this morning. That's a good call with that.
How many layups missed?
What was the other one I saw? Travis Kelce got fined $11,000 for bad sportsmanship. Is that what I saw? That was one of my. I was like, Brian, that was a good one for me. I was like, come on, 11,000. That's chunk change. There we got that. Let's find him way more. That's a good one, Ryan. I forgot about that one. Lakers definitely won that trade with Luka. They Mavs for loser of the week. I think Mavs fans are pretty. I mean, I was reading some articles today. You talk about a confused fan base. They're like they're just like, what are we? Imagine the person that just bought the Luka jersey for Christmas. Like, how many people got Luka jerseys for Christmas or something like that, bro? They're like, put it on the Lakers now. I don't know. That's got to be one of the best. Give me that version of Stephen A. The new version is that full. Yeah, he's a little. He is what he is now. He's trying to make. He's
making big bucks.
He's an adult now. That's right. But I loved him from Best Damn Sports Show. That's where I remember the most. But that to me is. I will always remember that 1 minute of just Kwame Brown.
Kwame Brown?
He got small hands. He can't move. Just the idea that Johnson is one of the best there that I can remember with it. All right, guys. Good show this week. Casey, thanks for jumping on for a little bit. Vandy, Chris, appreciate you tuning in. Tyler, Matt, Logan, appreciate you guys jumping on. Matt with the text. I love what he's texting me with it during the time. I'm glad we got to talk a little Poe as well. Got to get a little movie talk there with it. We'll be back next week, probably previewing just a little bit of Chiefs and Eagles, and we'll see if any more drama happened this week. I used to love the old PTI shows with Kornheiser as well. Yes, those are classics there as well. PTI with it. So, all right, Vandy, Chris, hope you stay with it. Brian, hope you're doing good. Brian, Tyler.